All right. Better.
So hey, it's Chris Randall. What's up, Tony? Remember last night when we were talking about that one deal? I just flipped a house about 3 weeks ago, and I was kind of bummed out because it had good cash flow, and I had actually, after the closing, realized I had only made a couple $1,000 on it. But then I sat down and did the numbers, and it looked like this. I'm right-handed, but I don't like this side of my face.
Hey.
So originally, about 4 years ago, I bought this house. Okay? Can I move that over?
Yeah.
So about... Yeah. Kind of like the background.
Oh, yeah, it's true. You got the fireplace. There we go.
So, 4 years ago, I bought this duplex, and I had bought and sold over 100 of them. But this particular one, I bought it for, I think, 16 or 18 grand, and then I had to put some money in it to get it rented, right? So let's just say I had 20,000 in it, purchase price. I got it rented, which I always do for $1,200 a month. Duplex, so 600 downstairs, 600 upstairs. You've been through this with me 100 times, so you understand the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So I rented it out for, I think, 6-8 months, and then I sold it, right? Sold it for 40 grand. I helped someone raise the money through kickstartcash.net, raise the business funding. They bought the property from me for $40,000.
Mm-hmm.
So they were collecting the $1,200 a month for, I think they had it for about 2 years. They had bought another 4-unit building from me, and it burnt. And they had a huge issue with the insurance company, ended up getting paid. And then they said, you know what, we want to sell those. We don't want to deal with rental properties anymore. So I put both of them under contract for $50,000, which is buying both of them for $25,000. So I was paying a little bit more for that 4-unit that had burnt. I actually had sold that building to them for $55,000. But they got paid out like 47 grand on it. So they were ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So they came to me and said, will you buy these two back from us? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. So we negotiated a $50K purchase price for the 4-unit, which had burned, not all the way. It was salvageable. Otherwise, I went to bought it. And then this house again, the duplex, right? So really, I think in the contract, I was giving him more money for the 4-unit than I was the duplex. But at any rate, they ended up selling the 4-unit for more money than what our contract was, and they came to me and said, hey, do you mind? We had someone call us, and they're willing to give us more than what we wanted to sell it to you for. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I ended up getting into buying the duplex still for I think it was $27,900 is what our contract was, right? But I made him sell it to me on paper. Remember how that works, right? So I ended up buying it on a land contract, right? You got to remember though, when I bought that for $20,000, I had rented it out, made some money, and then I sold it for $40,000 to them. So I had profit down here originally of $20,000 when I originally sold it to them, right? So I knew, I made some money on the 4-unit too. So I'm like, yeah, I'll buy them back from you, but I don't want to give you cash. I want to do a land contract, right? And I didn't have to put any money down. I just took over their payments because they had a bank note on it. So I had to pay them like $225 a month. And that covered all the expenses. This went on for 3 years, right? So you have a calculator in here?
Yep, right here.
So what's 3 years, 36 months times 225?
8,100.
So the way that I set the contract up for them was I wasn't paying down any principal. I told them that I'd cash them out $27,900 if I sold it in 2 months or 3 years. And they were like, okay. So that's how I got into doing it with no money down. So there's all kinds of ways to put deals together and negotiate so you don't have to come out of pocket. And that's what we've been taught and what we're teaching other people how to do. So even though the $8,100 went into their paying down the note that they had originally for $40,000, my purchase price was $27,900 because they made money on the 4 unit and getting paid out by the insurance company. They were okay with all this. So $8,100 I paid out for 36 months every month. But you got to remember that I was collecting $1,200 a month on the rents. So times that by 36 months. 1,200 times 36.
43,200.
Okay, and this is where this gets really cool, right? Mm-hmm. How much was it?
43,200.
Okay, so I paid out $8,100, but I collected the 42 or 43,200. So what's that? What's the difference there?
All right, 35,100.
Okay, that's what I put in my pocket over the 3 years, right? Plus, originally I made $20,000 on that house. Let's just say $35,000. So when I went to sell that house a few weeks ago, there was like a $16,000 spread, and this is like the first time I ever used a realtor. Right? I've never had to use a realtor, but I was partners with that realty company, and I'm like, okay, let's just list this house and the other house I bought for $500, which we'll talk about. So I sold them, and then after all the expenses of title fees and taxes and having to pay both realtors, I only netted like $2,100. All the money that goes out to title companies and real estate agents and stuff. Obviously, they got to eat too, but so I was kind of bummed out. I was only making $2,100, right? But after 3 years, I didn't realize till I sat down and started running the numbers that actually I made $20,000 and then another $35,000 on the rents I collected for 3 years, and the $2,100. Let's just say $2,000. So really, on that one property that I had about $20,000 invested in, I made $57,000 over 3 years. Kind of cool. So I don't know. It's real estate's fun, and sometimes you get tied up in it, and you don't really realize all the deals that you have going and how much value they bring. When I was just fixing and flipping houses, I'd make $8-10 on a flip, right? Sometimes a little bit more. This one I made $20,000. But having the rentals is a great way to have cash flow every month, and then flip a house here and there to make your money. But the big picture for anybody I think that's looking at real estate is, I think you need to buy and hold, and then fix and flip. So you always have that money coming in. And then if you don't want to fix and flip a house for 6 months and go on vacation, you still have the revenue coming in from the rents. I know you know that, but it's just kind of funny that I was telling you about this deal, and I was kind of bummed out because I only made $2,100. But then when I sat down and figured it out, this house made me a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure back when I bought that, I can't remember because I've done so many, I'm pretty sure that I didn't even have to come up with that $20,000. It probably came from another deal that I flipped to buy it. Because I was buying houses, fixing them, flipping them, and then just taking the money and putting it right back and buying more. Right. So yeah, it's kind of fun to sit down and look at those numbers.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I think that would be good for a podcast.
Cut. Yeah, I mean, that was about 9 minutes. And then if you want, go into the story about the raccoon. More of an entertaining story.
You want to just, as I'm erasing the board, I'll tell the story.
Yeah.
You want to start filming again?
Just keep going.
Oh, it's on now.
Yeah, actually, I'll make 2 shorter videos. Cut.